Have you ever wondered why the grass always seems greener on the other side? This is not just your question. It's a universal curiosity that has crossed all of our minds at some point. It feels like no matter how hard we try, other people's lives shine in a way ours never quite does, right? But here's the question. Is their grass really greener, or is it just the way we see it that tricks us? The answer might be much closer than you think. If this thought has ever crossed your mind, you're in the right place. How many times have we looked at others' lives, with their apparent joys and glowing successes, and asked ourselves, why do they seem so much happier than I am? That constant comparison is like a silent poison, corroding our self-esteem and our satisfaction with what we already have. And what if I told you that true happiness isn't found in others, but within yourself? Believe me, what you're about to discover here has the power to transform your perception of happiness. Once upon a time, there was a crow, deeply dissatisfied with his life. He soared through the skies but felt an enormous emptiness, as if something was always missing, even though he had the basics to survive. One day, he landed on a branch and began to cry. One of his tears fell onto the face of a monk meditating beneath the tree. This small encounter would forever change the crow's life. The monk looked up, and upon seeing the crow in tears, asked, "What troubles you, little crow?" The crow, with a trembling voice, replied, "Oh, wise monk, I am so tired of being rejected. No one likes me. I am always despised, no one gives me food, and everyone avoids me. I'd rather die than live with this pain." This suffering seemed endless, and more, the crow believed that happiness was out of reach. The monk, with patience, said, "My friend, happiness does not depend on how others treat us, but on how we feel about ourselves. The secret is to find peace, no matter the circumstances." Words that seemed too distant for a heart so troubled. The crow, however, could not grasp these words and continued to lament. The pain he carried inside was stronger than any wisdom he could hear at that moment. The monk then suggested a solution. "Tell me, what would you like to be? With my mantra, I can transform you." With renewed hope, the crow felt that perhaps his luck could change. With eyes full of hope, the crow exclaimed, "If you can transform me, make me a swan. They are so beautiful and everyone loves them." The monk agreed but said, "First, go ask a swan if it is truly happy. Then we will talk." With a new mission, the crow set off to find a swan. He wanted to know the secret behind that majestic appearance and the charm he so admired. Upon finding one, he said, "You are so graceful. White as snow, everyone admires you. You must be the happiest bird." The swan, sighing, replied, "I am beautiful, yes, but I am not happy. My color is simple, lifeless. The world is full of vibrant colors, and I am just white. There are times I would give anything to be different, to shine with colors that attract attention in a more intense way. Maybe the parrot, with its colorful feathers, is happier than I am." Intrigued and even more curious, the crow went in search of a parrot. Now, his head was full of questions only the parrot could answer. When he found it, he exclaimed, "Parrot, you are so colorful and full of life. Surely you must be the happiest bird." But the parrot's life wasn't as simple as it seemed. The parrot, however, shook its head and said, "Unfortunately, I am not happy. My beauty puts me in danger. People capture us and lock us in cages, taking away our freedom. Every day, I live in fear of losing what is most precious to me, my freedom. I think the peacock, even more beautiful than I am, must know true happiness." Once again, the crow took flight, determined to find the peacock. His quest for happiness seemed endless, but he believed he was getting closer. After much searching, he found a peacock trapped in a cage at the zoo, surrounded by admiring gazes. When the crowd dispersed, the crow approached and said, "Peacock, you are so majestic. Thousands come just to admire your beauty. You must be the happiest bird in the world." But the peacock, with a sad expression, replied, "Ah, how I wish that were true. The beauty they so admire is my prison. I am caged without freedom. People pluck my feathers, and it hurts me deeply. If I could, I would trade all of this for the freedom you have." The crow was shocked. He had never imagined that someone would trade their beauty for something as simple as freedom. "Would you really trade your beauty for my freedom?" The peacock smiled bitterly and said, "Yes, you are free. You can fly wherever you want, and no one tries to capture you. True happiness, little crow, lies in the freedom to be who you are." These words echoed in the crow's heart in a way he had never felt before. For the first time, he began to appreciate what he had, rather than desiring what he wasn't. Deeply reflecting on these words, the crow returned to the monk, finally understanding what he couldn't see before. He had spent so much time wishing to be something or someone else that he forgot to value his own essence. "Wise one, I no longer wish to be anything other than myself. The freedom to be who I am is my greatest treasure." And so, the crow discovered that true happiness didn't lie in appearances or what others thought of us, but in fully accepting who we are. This story illustrates a simple but powerful truth. Often, our unhappiness stems from comparison. We look at others and forget to value what we have. Happiness is always where we're willing to find it, within ourselves. There will always be someone who has more or less than us. But if we keep comparing ourselves, we will never find inner peace. True happiness is not in being the most beautiful, the most loved, or the most admired, but in finding satisfaction in who we already are. When we learn this, life becomes much lighter and fuller. May we learn from the crow to value our own life and the freedom to be who we are. And above all, never forget, smiling, even in adversity, is the secret to a light and fulfilling life. Every day we live is a unique opportunity to be the best version of ourselves, no matter what others do or are. If this story resonated with you, share your smile in the comments. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss new inspiring content. Happiness is just one click away.